Alrighty, good morning everybody. It is Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. Let's go ahead and jump back to yesterday and see what happened here. It actually, in my opinion, was a pretty easy day. Let's go ahead and jump back to the open. If you recall from our pre-market yesterday, we were talking about all the bearish stuff we had up off the new all-time highs, right? And I think I neglected to mention this yesterday, just so everybody understands. We had a target to the upside here at 53.31 quarter on the new June contract. And we had never been up here before, right? The market was pushing to new all-time highs. And what do you know? The market pushed right to our expected resistance, a major Fibonacci extension, and now we're getting a pretty extreme pullback from there. So kind of interesting that our next target to the upside is exactly where the market made it to, coming into the overnight session into Monday morning. So pretty interesting, right? It's not the first time we've seen that happen. In fact, most of the major rotations, if we were to zoom out, are right off those Fibonacci extension levels that were, again, sitting up here naked. Remember, we have other ones as well, sitting up here naked for getting in anticipation of a continued push to new all-time highs. So we came right up to our expected resistance in the pre-market yesterday, and now here we are getting a pretty extreme pullback, at least on short time frames. So let's go ahead and jump in. Remember, we had clues, made sense for there to be a larger pullback yesterday, and this is what happened. So the market opened, it popped right up into the 200 moving average and just could not get enough strength to actually go ahead and try and break out through VWAP there. So right out of the open, if you would have shorted the 200 moving average, you might have taken on maybe 2 points of risk at the most extreme push there. And even if you missed it there, you had all of these opportunities as the market was failing lower. So great opportunity to get short right around the 200 out of the open. Notice they tried to hold right around 50% of the previous day, but could not get back through the FMA here. Came down, bounced nearly to the tick off our next roadmap level, and then came down a little bit further and bounced off the next roadmap level just a couple ticks away, right? I mean, that's why I say yesterday I think was pretty easy, especially because there were so many clues for the bears, and right out of the open, they couldn't even get through the first expected resistance, which is what? Our 200 moving average, right? They tried to get through it and hold, and then it just came right back down. There's three great opportunities to short with basically zero risk, and then a fourth one right there. But again, right off the previous daily close, right off the 200 and the 50%, then right to the next roadmap level, couldn't get through the previous daily close or the FMA on the pop, and then what do you know, we began our stair step. And this, if we zoom out and look at the grander scheme, literally like roadmap level, bounce, bounce, and then rejected off the back end of each one. There's 50%, there's the previous daily close, there's the previous daily low or our SNR level at 02, there is the FMA, and then once they got through this major retracement at 92, which I believe is 50% of last week, they came right to the back end of it and kissed off of it. Like quite literally a perfect stair step all morning. So no excuses if you couldn't make money. We expected there to be a pullback, and then the market played off of all of our roadmap levels, and then finally came right back and tagged into that one and gave you another great short opportunity. Now, it did go sideways for at the end of the day. So if you didn't make your money on the sell-off out of the open and for the first hour or two of the trading day, then yeah, it did get a little bit messy and choppy toward the end of the day. But again, basically kind of holding off the back end of this roadmap level, then get above it and used it as a support, but then couldn't get through this roadmap level at 94 and literally parried back and forth inside of it. And then finally, right at the end of the day, came up to that previous daily low, one of our daily power levels, and then pulled back to the 200. So in my opinion, really, really, really good opportunities yesterday, and in the direction of where we expected the market to go. And that brings us here into the overnight session. Let me get rid of all of these lines here. That brings us here into our overnight session where the bears continued to rally the market lower. And what did we say in our pre-market yesterday? If the bulls cannot hold above 50% of the previous week, right here, then we are expecting a push down into some of the deeper levels below. And through the overnight session, as you can see here, let's zoom it in a little bit, the bulls just have not been able to get and stay above 50% of the previous week here. In fact, all night, they tagged 50% of the previous week. You could have made money shorting the back end. You even had the 200 moving average right there as well. Once, twice, 3 times. Then they tried to get above it and hold above it, right? Nearly holding it to the tick, got back below, and then bam, another great fade opportunity off the back end. And now they've just been stair-stepping down the fast-moving average. So that brings us into our pre-market for this morning.